Wonderful. So this evening, we're exploring probably one of the most subtle and elegant aspects of hypnotic language, known as language softeners. And they're the gentle words and phrases that smooth the edges of a suggestion, like wrapping your message up in silk. Rather than telling someone what to do, you invite them. You offer an idea softly so it slips past the resistance, past the conscious mind, critical faculty, to quote Erickson, and lands in the unconscious mind where it needs to. Think of it a little bit like sugarcoating the medicine, not because the suggestion is unpleasant, but because when the conscious mind feels like it still has a choice, it's far more likely to say yes. Softeners like you might, you could, perhaps, I'm not sure. Help create a space where the listener feels safe, respected, and free to follow your lead, often without realizing they've already started doing just that. And the approach isn't about being vague or about being weak. It's about being artful. It's the difference between pushing someone into something just teasing them and guiding them into it. And as we explore these together, you might begin to notice how often you already use them in everyday speech and how easily they can become powerful tools when used with intention. So, as we settle in now, you might just begin to notice that the space around you, you take a breath, feels a little quieter, a little softer, as if it's giving you permission to just relax. Maybe your shoulders begin to ease. Perhaps your breath deepens without any effort at all. And I'm not even sure whether you've already started to let go or whether that will happen in a few moments. You could allow yourself to drop into this space of calm, of curiosity, where learning happens not through pressure, but through gentle discovery. Because it's not about trying hard, it's about allowing. Allowing the words to find their place, allowing your unconscious to recognize patterns even before your conscious mind catches up. In a moment, you may begin to imagine what it feels like to speak this way, to offer suggestions in a way that feels kind, respectful, and yet strangely effective. And as you do, you may even find yourself smiling without knowing exactly why. Perhaps you've already begun to notice just how natural this becomes when you let go of needing to get it right and simply let it unfold. You might wonder how easily you'll use this tomorrow or later this evening or even just a few minutes from now as the words come to the tip of your lips and a sense of ease and quiet confidence. And there's no rush because gradually and maybe even suddenly you realize you can do this. Not perfectly, not yet, but beautifully, softly in your own way. So just take a moment now to appreciate actually how far you've already come over the several weeks we've looked at these language patterns and how gently you're growing into this every time you speak. Yeah, that's right. So let's look at our first batch of language softeners. If you've got your pen and pen, they're short ones again, so there's not tons to remember. The first one is perhaps. So inviting, isn't it? Oh, perhaps. Oh, yeah, you know what? Hell, maybe I will. Perhaps you can begin to experience yourself relaxing, even as you're writing this down, in a way that you're not used to. Perhaps you'll find that as you relax, your body relaxes, you can just let go. Perhaps the left arm will feel lighter, or the right arm may relax deeply, or perhaps your right arm will begin to feel lighter and your left arm feels just more comfortable now. Then perhaps you'll go into a trance completely differently. So that is perhaps. Our next one, would you? Would you prefer going into a deep trance now, or simply to relax comfortably in a few moments' time? It's a lovely way of stepping into a double bind, that one. Would you prefer? So would you like to experience hypnosis now, or would you like to experience it in a few moments when you're practicing together? And it's a good thing you're relaxing. Would you like to let that relaxation go deeper and deeper as you breathe in and out? So would you? The next one, maybe. Maybe you'll go into hypnosis whilst we're talking this and you're writing it down. Maybe you'll wait and go into hypnosis when you have your first practice session, or maybe you'll wait and go into hypnosis on the second practice session. But whenever you go into hypnosis, maybe you can really enjoy that feeling. Even if your eyes open and you feel wide awake, you can drift into that wonderful place of learning, of deeper understanding. So maybe. And one more. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I'm not sure how you will go into a trance now, because I'm not sure whether you start to relax your right arm or your left arm. And I'm not sure whether you'll go into a trance now, or whether maybe, perhaps, you'll go into a trance when you're practicing in a moment. And I'm not sure how you'll know that that hypnosis is getting deeper now. Perhaps you may notice that you're breathing in and you're breathing out. And I'm not sure how you'll experience that now. So I'm not sure. 4 wonderful things to play with. Mix them in with what we've done before. Mix them in, like say some of those lend themselves nicely to double binds. And we'll just recreate. We're not going to recreate this for the first time today. The breakout rooms. There's 4 of us. Let's do that. Assign automatically. So it's potluck. I'm not sure it's going to end. Perhaps you'll find that you get the most out of this first session, and then maybe you'll find you get even more out the second. Who knows? So here goes. And I'll 5 minutes each way. I've even checked the time for the first time ever to make sure that I follow it. I probably won't. Let's open those rooms and I'll drop in and see how you're getting on along the way. See you in a moment. Let's record. Fabulous. So the next 3, you might, you might, variations on a theme. You might like to notice that your breathing is getting deeper. A really good one to get people's attention if you want to help guide them into relaxation and stuff is you may notice your breathing. Now, am I saying you are breathing or you're breathing, as in you're noticing your breathing? It's slightly ambiguous, that statement. So it's like, ooh, but it gets people to focus within. And if you're using language for hypnotic change work perspectives, or to lift someone, or to help them solve a problem, you want them to focus within. So you know you may like to notice your breathing. Very few people will not then immediately start focusing on their breathing. It's a really nice sentence. And as your breathing deepens, you might be wondering what the next sign will be that you're going into hypnosis now. And you might want to just pretend for a moment that your trance is deepening. A nice bit of presupposition there. And you might really enjoy discovering for yourself that you are in deep hypnosis. So it's a nice one, that one. These ones I think flow better than quite a lot of the others. I think I use this one quite a lot. Allow. Just allow. Simply allow yourself to relax now. Simply just makes it sound easy. You could say just allow. Just. Oh, I just got to do that. It's easy. So just allow yourself, simply allow yourself to relax now. Because when you allow your body to relax, you can find yourself drifting deeper and deeper into a wonderful state of internalized attention. Now, every time you allow your attention to focus on your breathing, you will allow the relaxation to go right on, getting deeper and deeper as you thoroughly enjoy this experience. Like that one. And the final one of the three, you could. Perhaps, double whammy this one. Perhaps you could imagine yourself lying on a beautiful beach, and when you're delivering these, always think about pauses. If you are given an instruction, asking somebody to think and imagine them to do something, don't just jump onto the next statement. Because if I go, perhaps you could imagine yourself lying on a beautiful beach, and maybe you can begin to feel a sense of relaxation beginning now. You should remember that you can let your mind drift at any time, and you could. I'm giving you instruction after instruction, but I'm not allowing the time for those things to happen. So when I helped Sally the other week with her guided meditation thing that she's done for her college, for uni, her degree, I was saying to her, when you do that bit, close your eyes, take 3 deep breaths, blah blah blah. Tell yourself, I'm going to meditate. And you've heard me say that how many times I don't know now. But that pause during that gap, I am saying it as though I've asked myself to say it. So I repeat it. So I'll be like, just tell yourself, I'm going to relax. And in my mind, I say, I'm going to relax. Tell yourself, I'm going to meditate. I'm going to meditate. So I'm imagining myself responding. Because if I just go, tell yourself you're going to relax, tell yourself you're going to meditate, tell yourself you're going to let go, and outside noises are not going to disturb you, tell yourself that everyday thoughts will not distract you. You're like, what? I'm not allowing the gaps for the process. So when you're doing this, when you're delivering hypnotic language stuff, if you've asked somebody to ponder, think, imagine, allow them the space to do that. Yeah, allow them the space to do that. If you're doing like the never ending sentence kind of thing, like using and to string it together, that's a bit different because then what you're going for is override. So you might string together several sentences going, and you can relax and you can start to let go. And I wonder where you're starting to notice that now. And as you do that even more, whatever that is that allows you, and you let go deeper now, you can relax. So in that one, you're using and to create like multiple sentence, like elongated sentence, hardly a chance to take a breath, at which the end of you give the final instruction. And what that does, it sets up confusion. The mind goes, what? I'm trying to keep up. Where am I at? And suddenly you go, and you relax. And the mind goes, yeah, I'll relax. Um, so always when you're using hypnotic language, think about if you're giving an instruction, if you're inviting somebody to explore something, allow them the space to explore it. So perhaps you could imagine yourself delivering this and allowing people the space to explore the suggestions you give them. And you could begin to feel a sense of understanding that you can do this. You should remember that you could just recall the right words at the right time to speak in a way that is hypnotic, influential, that can help people, lift people. And you could enjoy. that image of speaking so freely to people in ways that better and improve their lives. And you could do this so easily, could you not? So you could. I like you could and could you not. I like there's it kind of double ends it. Allow, and you might. I mean, you literally could use all those. You might find yourself relaxing. You could discover yourself letting go. Just allow that relaxation to happen now. So you could literally cycle through these, just repeating them and just adding the suggestion and the instruction with each one. But the beauty of these words, like the others, is it softens that instruction. You know, tidy that up. No, you could consider tidying that up, could you not? It's more likely to get you the result you want. Um, so we'll do the breakout rooms again. Here goes. And just cycle through those again, drop in any bits from the other sessions to help pad that out, or literally just use the 7 words that we've used today and just allow yourself to explore those. Let's just hang on, recreate, assign automatically, bang, and open all rooms. 5 minutes each way, and I'll drop in again and see how you get on. There we go. And I am actually going to ask you to just have a little fidget, to take a nice deep breath in. Just allow your eyes to close. Just allow yourself that moment of stillness, that moment of just looking inside, focusing inwards. It's allowing yourself to just relax. Like over many weeks now, we've explored 70 different language patterns and phrases, which is a lot. And you've all done really, really well. But now there's a little moment to rest and relax before we move on to something else. And as you begin to relax, just imagine all those new ways of applying the words that you already use that can make so much difference to your life and to others. And as you settle just a little more deeply now, it's possible you've already started to notice something subtle, gentle, perhaps even a little unexpected. Not that you need to be aware of what it is, not yet, because sometimes the most important shifts happen underneath the surface, because the unconscious mind and the conscious mind especially can catch up. You might already be finding that certain phrases begin to form on your tongue before you even know why. And maybe that's just your unconscious letting you know that it's ready. And whilst you're here, just take a moment to imagine what it would feel like to speak in a way that invites change without needing to push for it. A way of using words elegantly that lands softly, yet leaves a lasting mark. I mean, it's strange, is it not? The way something so simple, a pause, a suggestion, a turn of phrase, can make all the difference. And even now. There's no need to try, because trying only gets in the way of something you've already begun. And you really don't have to remember everything. In fact, you might find you recall less and know more. Because the kind of learning that matters most is the kind that feels like remembering something you already knew. And maybe, just maybe, those ideas are already beginning to settle. No one has to tell you that. You wouldn't need proof, would you? Because when it's real, when it's yours, it doesn't have to be explained. You've probably already noticed moments where the words just come, where the resistance you used to feel simply is not there anymore. And the more you notice that happening, the more it happens. Some people find it comforting to imagine that part of them, the quiet, capable part, gently guiding things along. You might find that too, or not. Either way, something is happening. That much is clear. And even if a part of you still wonders whether this really will all work, that's just a sign it's already begun. After all, if nothing had changed, you wouldn't be wondering at all. And there really is no need to rush into this. In fact, the moment you stop trying to make it happen is often the moment it starts happening all at once. Like discovering you already know how to walk long after you stop thinking about how. And while some learn gradually, often others shift suddenly. Perhaps you'll discover that it's already too late not to have learned this, that it's already soaked into your tone, your timing, your presence. Because when you imagine someone in front of you, listening, trusting, changing, it becomes hard not to feel that sense of quiet readiness rising within you. And you might not be able to stop it, and that's fine. Because a part of you, maybe the deepest part, already knows how to do this. Not because someone told you, because it's part of what you're here to do. So, as you breathe now, and perhaps feel the calmness spreading, there's no reason not to let all of this become yours, fully, naturally, easily becoming yours, because it always has been. Not because you're trying, but because you've already begun. And as you realize now, not only have you already begun, but you've actually traveled quite a long way. And you do not have to think about this. You can just notice from time to time how a certain phrase or a certain word just appears at the right moment, in the right place, at the right time, to know that you can do this as easily as breathing, just like that, and so much more. So when you're ready to sleep really well this evening and allow all that you've learned to integrate at the deepest level, through dreams, through sleeping, through relaxing, to wake up in the morning as someone who can really start making the most of all you've learned, then you can open your eyes, be here now, ready to embrace the rest of the week. That's wonderful. Fabulous.